Hi, my name is Mary D. Wass, and I'm the author of Marvel in Your Autistic Eyes. I want to say thank you so much for the amazing positive feedback we have received from the new book that has been released within the last couple of weeks. And I hope this book continues to bless those that you love and your life the same way that it has blessed my heart by receiving your feedback. I want to share with those of you who may not have the opportunity to dive inside the pages of Marvel in Your Autistic Eyes character lessons for my son, what you can find inside this book that might be very unique to other autism books out there. Can you imagine with me for just a moment a life full of so much honesty, with very little deception or lies being told? Can you imagine a life full of so much contentment with very little materialism that they struggle with? Can you imagine a life that offers so much self-control with very little boasting about the things that they have and things that they say or do? Well, that's what you can find in the life of a child with autism. These are character qualities that children with autism, they display and they live every single day, and they want to share them with our world. So I hope that you can pick up your own copy and share it with those that need encouragement and that need to learn how amazing children with autism are. I want to come today and share a personal story, a true story, sometimes emotional for me to share because it really is times when it can be hurtful, that you just want to scoop your child up from this cruel world, and you just want to isolate them from the society that we live in. But these are things that I think we can all learn from and help us grow and to accept our children and all of their beautiful differences. I call this story The Loner at Lunch. For middle school children in our county, when they have an opportunity to have a beautiful day outside with the weather, and the kids, I guess, have been good in classes, they allow the children to get their lunch trays and they go sit outside and they can mingle with their friends, talk about the latest football games and what college team that they support won and lost, and just do what kids do. They just enjoy being friends and talking about things over their weekend. Unfortunately, this is something that gets tampered with in a normal routine of a child with autism. So instead of going to the lunchroom and eating with the same group of people, all of a sudden there has been disruption in their normal routine. So this is not something that usually goes very well. This particular day last year, my son, like the other kids, got his lunchroom tray, and he headed outside the doors not knowing what to do, as he watched all the kids find their friends and run over and sit with their friends and begin to mingle like kids do. And he stood there thinking to himself, what do I do? Where do I go? See, social skills is not something that children with autism do so well. So it's hard for them just to walk up to someone and ask, hey, is anyone sitting here? Can I sit here with you? So my son got his lunch tray and he headed off somewhere and sat by himself. And if I had to guess, in those moments, he probably began to fight back tears as he would replay in his head what his mom would say about, control yourself from crying in public, son. You don't want people to have another reason to make fun of you. So control those emotions. And he did everything he could do to swallow a few bites of food, but nothing seemed to go down because he just sat there and he felt like everyone was looking his way and wondered why he was so different. And finally he looks up and he sees a young man across the way, and he starts motioning for my son to come over, and my son looks around to see who the boy could be motioning to, and finally he says, me? And he gets a smile, and he can't believe it. I mean, someone's actually looking his way, and he says, me? And the young man shakes his head yes, and he asks my son to come over and join he and his friends to sit down and eat. Well, this boy sort of knew my son because his brother would come to some of the special education classes through the day to help him with math or some subject that he needed some extra help with. And so my son, it was as if someone had just given him courtside seats to the latest NBA playoff game. He was on cloud nine as he went over, and it was just a beautiful example of not only being included, but someone showing respect for someone that was a little bit different. The teacher took the time to text me to tell me what had played out that day, and I was out of town for work, and I had to pull over to the side of the road so that I could read the text, and I sat and I just cried because I was not there to help my son. I was not there to help him find a friend to sit with. He had to do it on his own, and it hurt. And sometimes I think God makes a mom's heart just a little bit bigger so that we can carry our kids' hurts for them when they can't carry them anymore. I think our hearts are made a little bit bigger so that we can love a little bit longer and encourage in special ways that only a mom can. And when I was alone with my son, he looked at me and he said, "Mom, I want to ask you a question." And I said, "Sure, son." I love when he asks me questions because that means we're having a conversation. And he said, "Why am I so different?" "I don't want to be different, Mom." That's hard. That's hard to hear. But I just had to believe Jesus said back to him as he heard my voice speak, "Son, sometimes being different is the only way that someone can see the beautiful character qualities that you display and live every day. If you were like everyone else, they would be covered up and you couldn't see them. But when you're different, you can shine more brightly." And my prayer for you, as it's been for me and in my son's life, is that maybe through the pages of our new book, Marvel in Your Autistic Eyes, you'll have your own moments when you can marvel in your child's eyes as you look at them and you see the beautiful character qualities they want to share with our world. May you have a very blessed day. Thank you.